How long do you think a human can survive without sleep? Today, I'm going to tell you the extraordinary story of the man who currently holds the world record for the longest time without sleep. He was a regular high school student who pushed his body and mind to the absolute limit and lived to tell about it. I'll take you through his journey day by day and show you what happened to his body and mind as the sleepless hours ticked away. As his record attempt progressed, what happened to him will shock you, and so will just how far he managed to go. December 1963, San Diego, California. A 17-year-old high school student named Randy Gardner is brainstorming ideas for his science fair project. But Randy isn't interested in baking soda volcanoes or growing plants. He wants something that will truly stand out. Randy has a bold idea. What if he pushed his body to the absolute limit? What if he attempts something that no human has scientifically ever documented before? What if he decides to see how long he can go without sleep? On December 28, 1963, Randy wakes up for what will be the last time in quite a while. He recruits two friends to monitor him in shifts. Their job? Make sure he never ever falls asleep. The rules were strict. No stimulants allowed. No caffeine, no amphetamines, nothing. Randy had to stay awake through natural means only. He needed to try and function normally. No lying down and resting. What started as a high school project quickly caught the attention of professionals. Dr. William Dement from Stanford University, a pioneering sleep researcher, heard about the experiment and flew in to observe. Lieutenant Commander John J. Ross, a Navy psychiatrist, also joined to monitor Randy's health. Day 1, the beginning. The first day passes without much drama. Randy is tired, but is fully functional. He keeps active by playing basketball and visiting the local bowling alley with his friends. At this point, many of us have experienced this level of sleep deprivation, either pulling an all-nighter, studying for exams, or staying up with a newborn baby. Nothing too extreme yet. Day 2. Irritability sets in. By the second day, the first real changes begin. Randy becomes noticeably irritable. Small annoyances trigger disproportionate reactions. His friends report that sometimes simple questions receive snappy responses. His coordination remains largely intact, but researchers start to notice that his reaction time starts to slow. Similar to someone who's had a few drinks. Day 3. Coordination problems. 3 days without sleep and things are getting serious. Randy's coordination begins to falter significantly. Simple tasks start to become challenging. His speech starts to slur occasionally. At this point, most people would have given up. The desire to sleep becomes overwhelming after 72 hours. But Randy pushes forward. Day 4. Cognitive decline. By day 4, Randy's cognitive ability shows marked decline. His vision occasionally blurs. Researchers notice that he's beginning to exhibit similar symptoms to early psychosis. His sentences sometimes trail off as he forgets what he's saying mid-thought. Day 5. Reality distortion. 5 days without sleep, Randy's perception of reality begins to warp. The first hallucinations appear. Subtle at first, but they become increasingly more vivid. Randy reports seeing fog crawling along the floor that isn't there. He mistakes a street sign for a person. At one point, he thought he was a famous football player and he was being interviewed after a big game. Day 6 to 7. Paranoia emerges. Almost a week without sleep, Randy's mental state deteriorates dramatically. Paranoia sets in and he's convinced that people are plotting against him. His short-term memory essentially vanishes. When asked to count backwards from 100, he stopped after a few numbers, completely forgetting which task he was performing. The medical professionals monitoring him are amazed he can function at all. Most people would have experienced forced sleep, where the body just shuts down at this point. Day 8 to 9. The struggle intensifies. Randy's condition continues to worsen and his speech is often incoherent. He now struggles to form complete sentences. The experiment has now attracted media attention. Reporters gather to witness this extraordinary feat of endurance. Randy is barely holding on, but somehow he keeps going. The final stretch and the record. As Randy pushes further into uncharted territory, doctors wonder whether they should stop the experiment for his safety. His parents watch anxiously as their son becomes unrecognizable. And finally, after an astonishing 11 days without sleep, 264 hours, Randy Gardner finally falls asleep. He set the world record for voluntary sleep deprivation. However, what happened next surprised researchers even more. Randy didn't sleep days upon days to recover. Instead, he slept for just 14 hours and 40 minutes and then woke up naturally, feeling refreshed. Even more surprising was that Randy's sleep pattern normalized after a few days. His brain had somehow adapted and recovered much faster than expected. Modern science has since revealed what was happening in Randy's brain. During extreme sleep deprivation, parts of the brain can shut off temporarily for microsleeps while the person remains technically awake. Randy's experiment helped scientists understand that different parts of the brain can be impacted differently by sleep loss. With the prefrontal cortex, an area at the front of the brain responsible for executive function, decision-making, and personality, taking the biggest hit. Randy Gardner's experiment has become legendary in sleep science circles. While Guinness no longer recognizes sleep deprivation records due to health concerns, Randy's contribution remains invaluable to science. The dangers of extended sleep deprivation are now well documented, so this is something that experts definitely don't recommend trying at home yourself. So I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It will really help me out a lot. If you'd like to listen to another fascinating medical story, check out this video here on a doctor who swallowed bacteria to win a Nobel Prize, and I'll see you in the next video.